Hello, fellow Americans. My name is Allie Morris, and I'm honored to be the Republican candidate for the election of 2028 as president. I am very dedicated to my job, and here's why. I graduated from Harvard Law School class of 2010. I was summa cum laude of my class. I was a U.S. ambassador, and I was on the U.S. House of Representatives for 2 terms. And I was also on the board of the American Red Cross, Board of Governors, and I did that for 3 years. So I'm very dedicated to organizations that help people, and I'm very dedicated to education as I went to Harvard. And I met with many national leaders while I was abroad. I care what the American people have to say, and so here are some issues I will address. First of all, climate change is a growing issue. 36% of Americans are concerned with climate change. Another growing issue is inflation. 62% of Americans are concerned with inflation. That is well over half, and that is a humongous problem that I can solve as president. Healthcare is another growing issue. 57% of Americans are concerned with the price of healthcare. I want to make it as affordable as possible. Another issue is immigration. 51% of Americans are concerned with illegal immigration. That is a large number as well. It is over half. These issues are big issues that I will address as president. 53% of Americans are concerned with the federal budget deficit. This is also over half. These issues need to be addressed, and I will do it, and I will make plans to help solve them. I will now elaborate on climate change. In some locations, there is a heavy rainfall, but in others there is droughts. This can affect the food supply because farmers cannot sustain food in their livestock in these conditions because they can cause disease, extreme weather conditions, and it's not viable for the farmers. So I need to make plans to implement government change for climate change before it gets too late. Inflation is another growing issue. In 2024, the inflation rate was 3%. Inflation is not good for the economy, as it makes the cost of living much harder because it's not sustainable for the average American. I will address this issue and the complexities of it. Another issue is healthcare. It is becoming less and less affordable. The average per capita was $14,570. This is per household. That is an insane amount of money that is not good for the average American. It also had an increase of 7.5% from 2023. I will address this issue as every American should have access to healthcare. And while it is not that simple, I will have people help me make plans to reduce the costs. Illegal immigration is also another pressing issue. Taxpayers were estimated to have a net cost of $150 billion on illegal immigration. This is a large amount of money that could be going to other programs and federal aid to help people. However, this is not where the money should be going. I think there should be peaceful ways to remove illegal immigrants, and I will make sure that happens and no discrimination will occur. Federal deficit is also a growing issue. It rose to 17.9%, which is almost 2 times worse than it was during the Great Recession in 2009. This is a horrible plan, and we need to make clear, mapped out plans of how we're going to spend our money so we do not go into debt, because we need to be as precise as possible. And with my degree, I'll be able to implement the best plans that we can do. With my critical thinking skills and open-mindedness, I think I will be able to lead this country to greatness. We can build a better future with Allie Morris as president. I will make sure not only the Republicans have a say, but Democrats too, because I want this nation to be as united as ever and not divided. So I think with Allie Morris, if you vote for me, it will be a better future, and I will deal with all these complex issues, and I will have the best team behind me. So thank you for listening.